welcome to the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
This is where we take, well, a whole stack of sources, articles, research notes, and really try to boil it all down, pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge to help you get truly well-informed on a topic.
And today, we're diving into something that, honestly, almost everyone faces. It often hits really hard around, say, 18 or 19.
Right, that moment. Harsh Mishra described it so well. It's when you suddenly realize we have to decide our goals, career, and what we're going to do in the rest of our life. And it just feels, well, he said, very tough.
It really is tough. It's this universal pressure point, isn't it? You're supposed to commit to a path, often with, like, zero real-world experience to guide you. It can be completely paralyzing.
Yeah, do you go for the dream, that, passion everyone talks about?
Or do you play it safe? Go for stability, job security, the stuff that looks good on paper, guarantees prospects. And it's not just for teenagers, right? This debate echoes for people changing careers, even thinking about retirement.
Absolutely. And it creates this fantastic tension. It's almost a paradox in society. And you see it in these two sayings that clash all the time. On one hand, you've got that rosy picture, often linked to people like Simon Sinek, do what you love for work, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Right. That one paints a picture of just pure bliss, effortless work, waking up excited every single day. It sounds incredibly freeing, doesn't it?
Totally. But then, almost like a direct counterpunch, you get that other saying,
Yeah.
the one that feels maybe a bit more grounded, definitely relatable.
Let me guess. Keep your passion as your passion, because the moment it becomes your job, you'll hate it.
That's the one. And it hits home for a lot of people, I think. It acknowledges the tough parts of working life, the grind, the demands, the unexpected stuff that can just snuff out that initial spark.
Yeah, it really does. So the challenge for us today, and really for you listening, is to figure out which of these holds the key, or if either of them do.
Or maybe, the real answer is somewhere deeper,
Yeah.
in that messy space between the two extremes.
That's exactly what we're aiming to unpack in this deep dive. Our mission here is to pull out those crucial insights, cut through all the noise, and help you navigate this, frankly, really complex decision with a bit more clarity, more confidence.
And we've got a really diverse set of sources for this. Everything from, like, personal blogs, really candid discussions about what people actually went through.
All the way to, structured wisdom from big thinkers, Shetty, Dr. Demartini, Robert Greene, Simon Sinek, plus classical wisdom, even modern psychology.
We're going to sift through it, try to connect the dots, and basically give you a shortcut to understanding this whole career puzzle from lots of different angles. So, ready to jump in?
Let's do it. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's start with that first idea, the really seductive one. Follow your passion. It feels like it's everywhere, doesn't it?
Oh, completely. Classrooms, social media, self-help books. It's drilled into us.
And the promise is huge, right? Ultimate personal fulfillment, total job satisfaction. Just find that one thing you love, make it your job, and boom. Happiness, success, money. It all just follows.
It's almost irresistible because, on the surface, it makes perfect sense. One of our sources, Work, Passion, and Purpose, a balanced view, points this out. When you're working in a field you genuinely love, yeah, you definitely feel happy.
Things feel easier somehow.
Exactly. Challenges that might make someone else quit. You see them differently, maybe even enjoy tackling them because you enjoy the process. There's this dream of being, like, untroubled at all by the responsibilities, as if the joy just cancels out the obligations.
It's the ideal. Work feels like play. That's the dream everyone's chasing. But then, reality check. What happens when that pure, raw passion, that almost, childlike enthusiasm, slams into the actual demands of a job?
Deadlines looming.
Clients expecting things, managers overseeing you, needing to produce specific stuff, maybe stuff you don't even like.
Yeah.
Or just the sheer grind of showing up day after day, even when you're not feeling it.
And that right there is where that second quote suddenly feels very real. Keep your passion as your passion because the moment it becomes your job, you'll hate it.
It's not just cynicism, is it? It's a common experience.
Sadly, yes. Think about that story we found in the passion versus profession discussion, the one about the gaming YouTuber.
Oh, yeah. That was fascinating.
So this person started out just absolutely loving games, built a massive channel, millions of subscribers, totally turned their passion into a career. But the irony, they ended up hating gaming.
Wait, really? Hating the thing that made them successful?
Pretty much, because the very things that made it a passion, the freedom, The fun, playing what they wanted when they wanted, got stripped away.
By the job demands, even from fans.
Exactly. They weren't playing for fun anymore. They had to play games based on the tastes of fans, viewers, and subscribers.
So like using characters they didn't like, weapons they hated?
Or even whole games they found boring, all because the audience wanted it. And the source makes this really key point. Passion as a stress reliever, or for having fun, is different from passion as a job.
That distinction is crucial.
Because a job, any job, brings demands and pressures, rules, expectations, oversight. Whether it's from a boss or, like in this case, thousands of demanding followers, that external pressure, it can totally transform something you love into something you dread. The joy just vanishes when it becomes an obligation.
Okay, so if that initial passion spark can get snuffed out or twisted by the job, what actually keeps us going? Through the boring bits, the tough times, the long haul. There has to be more than just that first burst of excitement.
Absolutely. What motivates us when passion fades or fluctuates? That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
And in that same passion versus profession discussion, this guy George offers a more maybe realistic take. He found his motivation wasn't really passion, but things like responsibility, sense of belonging, and, the basic need to work.
The practical stuff.
Yeah, he even mentioned a Javanese saying, ora oba, ora mama, basically, no work, no food. It's not romantic, but it's real. His point was that passion can often fluctuate or be inconsistent. It's not always a reliable fuel for the day-to-day.
And Robert Greene. He's known for his pretty unflinching views on mastery and success. He takes this even further, doesn't he?
Oh, definitely. Greene argues that real success, lasting mastery in anything, takes a lot of effort, discipline, hard work, years of dedication, patience, just mountains of it.
And passion alone won't cut it.
He thinks if passion is your only fuel, you'll just run out of steam. You won't have the energy for a lot of the monotony that is involved in building anything successful. He actually finds the word passion kind of cringeworthy.
Cringeworthy?
Yeah, sentimental, he calls it. Because it suggests this easy, breezy, emotionally driven path that just ignores the brutal reality of sustained hard work.
So even if you love the field, you'll still hit boring patches.
Of course. Greene points out that even in work you're aligned with, there are times when you feel bored, especially if you do the same thing for a long period of time with the same rhythm.
Like a writer hitting a block or a scientist running the same test over and over.
Exactly. And that boredom, if passion is all you have, can make you feel stuck, confused about what to do, maybe even make you feel like you're losing direction because you were relying too much on that one feeling.
It suggests we need something sturdier, something deeper than just initial excitement to carry us through.
Precisely. It's a great catalyst, passion is, but it's not enough for the long, often very unpassionate journey of building something meaningful.
Okay, this is where things take a really unexpected turn. We think of passion as excitement, energy, positivity, right? But Dr. Demartini offers a completely different, almost shocking take on the word itself.
Yeah, this one really makes you stop and think. He points out the original meaning, the etymology of passion. It actually means to suffer.
To suffer? How does that work?
It comes straight from Latin pati or passio, meaning to suffer or to endure. He says the meaning flipped around 1985, maybe with books like Passion for Excellence, and suddenly it meant excitement.
But he thinks we lost something important.
He argues we lost the original meaning. For him, this modern idea of passion is basically the striving for a one-sided life. It's trying to get all the pleasure without pain, avoiding the tough stuff, the challenges.
Which is impossible, right?
Exactly. He says it's futile because real growth, real learning happens at the border of support and challenge, where you meet both pleasure and pain, ease and difficulty. That's where you're tested and evolve.
So chasing only the passion, the pleasure, is like trying to live on only half the equation. And that leads to suffering.
That's Demartini's argument. He links it to our brain. Living by these lower values, always seeking pleasure, avoiding pain, engages the primitive parts, the amygdala, the hindbrain.
Like basic instincts.
Yeah, impulses and instincts, like animals chasing a treat or running from a threat. He calls it teleonomical reactive, driven by immediate stimuli. And he says addictive behavior. That's a prime example of this kind of passion, the constant craving for immediate gratification, the quick fix.
Always chasing the high, avoiding the lows, missing the balance needed for real growth.
Exactly. Always trying to pass one negative ion to the positive ion, as he puts it. Looking for the easy escape, missing the richer, balanced experience.
Okay, so if passion in that sense can be a trap, leading to suffering or just fleeting highs, how do we get beyond it? What's the alternative for something more sustainable and meaningful.
This is where Demartini introduces his concept of an inspired mission. It's fundamentally different from passion.
How so?
An inspired mission doesn't try to avoid the hard parts. It actually embraces pain and pleasure in the pursuit of a great cause. It sees challenges not as roadblocks, but as integral parts of the journey towards a higher purpose.
So it's achievable, not just a fleeting feeling.
Right, it's obtainable, and it's teleological, meaning purposeful, goal-oriented. You're not just reacting, you're strategically moving towards something. This comes from the forebrain, the neocortex, the part responsible for higher thinking, strategic planning, and ultimately, our greatest achievements.
It's about being driven from within, balanced, using challenges instead of running from them.
Exactly. Self-governed, purposeful action.
And that sounds a lot like what Robert Greene talks about with his idea of a life's task or a calling.
Yes, there's a very strong parallel there. Greene's life's task isn't just a temporary interest. It's that deep gut feeling, that sense of destiny in life, the feeling of, this is what I was meant to do.
Not something you choose, but something you discover within yourself.
He believes it reveals itself when you're a child. It's not manufactured. It's a deep resonance and an innate direction. And that connection, that sense of destiny, is what provides the unwavering fuel to push through the hardship and the boredom.
This really shifts the focus, doesn't it? Away from just what makes me feel good right now towards something bigger, more lasting.
Definitely. It starts to sound less like a self-help quest and more like finding your unique contribution, a move towards service, maybe.
That's exactly where Shetty takes it. He makes this brilliant distinction. He says, your passion is for you. Your purpose is for others.
Oh, I like that. Simple, but profound.
When you use your passion in the service of others, it becomes a purpose. That's the key shift. It's about taking what lights you up, your natural inclinations, and channeling them outwards, using them to make an impact.
So it's not just for personal fun, but as a tool for contributing something beyond yourself, serving a cause, a community, an ideal.
Exactly. And that sets a completely different foundation for what a truly fulfilling career might look like. Much more robust, arguably.
Wait, that's a powerful idea. But if purpose is about using our unique gifts for others, how do we actually find that deeper calling, that inspired mission or life's task? It can feel really hidden.
It can, but the idea seems to be it's about uncovering what's already inside you. Robert Greene and Andrew Huberman both talk about this uniqueness. Greene says it beautifully. Your DNA has never occurred in the history of the universe.
Wow, that's quite a thought.
Right, that biological uniqueness, plus your life experiences, that's your singular source of power. So the key isn't trying to be someone else or chasing trends. It's about committing to finding that uniqueness and using it to build a career path that's authentically yours.
So less looking out, more looking in, deeply.
Exactly. Greene talks about Abraham Maslow's impulse voices from childhood, around age 4 or 5.
Impulse voices.
Yeah, not big ideas, just primal feelings, little voices saying, I love this or I ate that. Really pure, unfiltered preferences before the world starts telling you what you should like or do.
Before the noise gets in.
Right. They're like raw indicators of your core self, what naturally pulls you in.
Like finding the grain in your wood, the natural direction your energy flows.
That's a great analogy. Greene connects it to Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. Word smart, math smart, body smart, people smart, and so on.
Right, the idea that we're not all smart in the same way.
Exactly. Gardner believed your brain naturally veers towards one of them, like that grain in your brain going in a certain direction.
Yeah.
The advice is align your work with that grain. That's where your real power, your engagement, your potential for mastery lies. Fighting it is just frustrating and ineffective.
Can you give some examples? How did this show up in famous people?
Sure. Greene himself remembers being obsessed with words at age 6, spelling backwards, anagrams, palindromes, just playing with language.
Not academic, just fascination.
Exactly. Or Einstein, getting a compass at age 4. He was mesmerized by the needle always pointing north, by invisible forces, sparked his whole life's work.
Wow.
Steve Jobs, around 7 or 8, apparently stood hypnotized by the design of tech gadgets in a store window. Not just what they did, but how they looked and felt.
The aesthetics, even then.
And Tiger Woods, as a toddler, just screaming with joy, watching his dad hit golf balls, already mimicking the swing. And an undeniable pull.
Those are really clear, visceral examples. What about Andrew Huberman? He has a personal story too, right?
Yeah, great modern one. He talks about his childhood love for flora and fauna, biology, how animals move. He remembers going snorkeling, visiting aquariums.
And it wasn't just interesting.
No, he describes it as this full-body sensation, like my body floats, this activation state, an eternal spring of life. It made him desperate to tell everybody about it, to organize information.
So his purpose wasn't just be a scientist, but recreating that feeling of discovery and sharing.
Exactly. For him, it was about sharing that delight, that fascination, in whatever form, lab work, teaching, podcasting. The underlying emotional connection was the key driver.
Okay, so if these impulses, this grain, are so clear when we're kids, why is it so damn hard for most of us to find it later on? To reconnect with that inner compass?
Because, as Greene puts it, as we get older, maybe starting around 7, noise enters your brain.
Not actual noise, but influences.
Right. Teachers telling you what you're not good at, parents pushing safe careers, peers influencing what's cool. All that external chatter starts to drown out that quiet inner voice.
So by the time you're a teenager, it's buried.
For many, yeah. That inner radar is just obscured by expectations, comparisons, all the shoulds.
And without that radar, Greene says, people are lost at sea. They wander. Choose practical majors they don't love. Make career choices based on money or status.
Which can set you off in a very bad path long term because you're just not connected emotionally to what you're doing day in, day out.
But if you do connect with that inner grain,
Greene believes you tap into this almost limitless energy. It fuels discipline, helps you push through boredom, makes you learn faster because you're intrinsically engaged. Without it, you might be capable, but you're running on willpower, not that deeper wellspring. It makes mastery much harder, less fulfilling.
okay, so for adults who feel like that voice got lost decades ago, how do we start digging? How do we find this purpose now? Shetty has a framework for this, right?
He does, a really practical one. 4 paths. And they're not exclusive. You might resonate with more than one. First is pain.
Finding purpose through suffering.
Exactly. So many people find their calling after going through something really tough, they overcome it, and then turn that pain into a drive to help others avoid the same thing or get through it. Like beating a disease and then dedicating your life to supporting others with that diagnosis.
Turning wounds into wisdom and then service. Makes sense. What's path 2?
Path 2 is potential. This is about discovering hidden talents, skills you didn't know you had. Shetty suggests sampling. Try a totally new skill every weekend for a year.
52 new skills. Wow.
Yeah. Coding, pottery, public speaking, whatever. He guarantees you'll find something you have an unexpected knack for. He found his own potential at 18 just by trying lots of things, managing teams, leading talks, and realized he loved learning, teaching, and sharing. Then he had to hone it.
I love that. It takes the pressure off finding the one thing right away. Just explore. Okay, path 3.
Path 3 is problem. Seeing something wrong in the world and feeling compelled to fix it, even if it doesn't affect you directly.
Like climate change, social justice, animal welfare.
Exactly. That feeling that you have to do something, you can't just stand by. That's often what we first think of as purpose, tackling a big external issue.
And the 4th path. This one offers hope if you're already mid-career.
Yes, path 4 is platform. This is super empowering. It says you can use everything you've already built, skills, achievements, even jobs you hated as a platform to serve and help other people.
Like Andre Agassi, the tennis player who hated tennis.
Precisely. He used his fame, money, and name from tennis, the thing he disliked, to create his foundation and schools for at-risk kids. The message is huge. Don't downplay your experience. Everything you've done can be a launch pad for purpose.
Pain, potential, problem, platform. That's a really useful map. But how do you tie it together strategically if you're feeling lost?
Shetty has a great exercise for that too. He suggests making 4 lists, like a quadrant. First list, skill, no passion.
Stuff you're good at but don't love, like maybe spreadsheets or editing.
Yeah, exactly. Could be your current job. The key question he asks is, how could you become passionate about that skill? Can you find meaning in it? Connect it to something bigger. Change your relationship with it.
Interesting. Not just ditching it, but trying to find the passion within the skill. Okay, list 2.
Second list, no skill, passion, things you love or are curious about, photography, coding, whatever, but you're, frankly, terrible at them right now.
Hobbies, basically.
Right. And the question is, how can you learn and build upon this? Take a course, find a mentor, practice deliberately. The goal is to build the skill to match the passion.
Got it. Develop skills where passion exists. What's list 3?
Third lift, no skill, no passion. The stuff you're bad at and hate doing.
The avoid at all costs list.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Ideally, you outsource these later. Short term, maybe you just get on with it, but don't build your life around them.
Okay, so skill, no passion. Passion, no skill. Neither. What's the goal?
Right.
The fourth list.
The fourth list is the magic intersection. Purpose. Skill plus passion. Shetty stresses this. True purpose isn't just passion. It has to be something you're actually really good at. Otherwise, it stays a hobby, maybe a dream.
So you need both the heart and the competence.
Exactly. To make a real impact, you need to be strategic and focused. He uses that amazing Martin Luther King Jr. quote. People who love peace need to learn to organize themselves, as well as those who love war.
Wow. Meaning good intentions aren't enough. You need skill, strategy, organization to make a difference.
Precisely. It's about combining heart with smarts, passion with proficiency.
Okay, but what if you can't just switch careers right now? What about finding purpose where you already are, even in a job you feel stuck in?
That brings us to job crafting. There's this incredible Yale study on hospital cleaners.
Cleaners, okay, tell me more.
They found two groups. Some saw themselves as just low-skilled labor, cleaning floors, toilets, just the tasks, mundane. But another group, doing the exact same job, same pay, same boss, described themselves totally differently. They saw themselves as healers and carers.
Healers? How? There were cleaning rooms.
Because they believed cleaning was integral to the healing journey of the patient. They felt a clean room, helped patients feel better physically, gave them dignity, made families visit more, all aiding recovery.
Wow. So they didn't change what they did, but how they thought about what they did.
Exactly. That's job crafting, shaping your tasks, relationships, perceptions to align with your values and purpose, even if the job title stays the same.
It reminds me of that Wayne Dyer quote. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change.
Precisely. It's a challenge to you listening. Who does your work positively impact? Even indirectly. Just reconnecting with that impact can change everything. Find the meaning, even in the ordinary.
That's incredibly powerful. Finding purpose isn't always about finding a new job, but finding a new perspective on the job you have.
Okay, so purpose and calling are vital. But let's get real for a second. Life demands practicality, right? We need to pay bills, support families.
Absolutely. That work, passion, and purpose source really hits this. It says you have to consider more than just passion or salary. There's the urgency of need.
Like the sandwich generation, caring for kids and parents.
Exactly. In that situation, stable income might have to come first before exploring a passion project. You have to be realistic and ensure you can meet your living needs. Priorities shift depending on your life stage.
So sometimes a non-passion job is just necessary. Does it offer anything besides a paycheck, though? Any hidden benefits?
Surprisingly, yes. Working outside your passion can open up wider career opportunities you'd never find otherwise. It builds patience and resilience. It can lead down unexpected paths, help you discover new skills that may have been hidden.
So counterintuitively, it can make you more adaptable, while a passion job might keep you in a comfort zone.
That's the argument. Working outside your passion forces growth in new directions, builds versatility. Staying only where you're passionate might actually limit your development in some ways.
Fascinating. Okay, let's talk about something that stresses everyone out. Work-life balance. Simon Sinek has some interesting views on this term, doesn't he?
He really does. He dislikes the term work-life balance. Why? Because balance is achieved with two opposing forces.
And he asks, why should work and life be in opposition?
Exactly. He thinks that framing is the core problem. No amount of yoga or vacation time fixes it if you see them as fighting each other. You're set up to fail.
So if balance is wrong, what's his solution? How do we make them work together?
He pushes for a life where work and personal life are not only interchangeable, but smooth, seamless. It's not about splitting hours 50-50. It's about deciding where you choose to give effort when it feels right.
Like going for a run at 4 p.m. if you need it.
Yeah. Or taking duvet days, calling in well because it's a beautiful day and you want to enjoy it. People do it anyway, they just lie. Or scheduling gym time midday, if that's your peak energy time.
So make them flow together, not fight each other.
Right. Make them seamless so you enjoy both more because they're not opposing. They're just different facets of one life.
That really connects with James's advice from that earlier discussion.
Yeah.
If you can't work in your passion now, be patient, do passions on weekends, get your days off, don't work too long. Protect your energy.
Exactly. Manage energy, not just time. Which ties back to Robert Greene's idea about pleasure.
Right, the difference between fleeting pleasure and deep fulfillment.
Yeah. He says chasing immediate pleasure, video games, scrolling, whatever it's minimal, fleeting, can lead to addiction, leaves you feeling empty.
Versus the satisfaction of long-term achievement.
Totally. Building a business, writing a book, mastering something hard that takes months, years. It involves pain, boredom, discipline. But the tremendous sense of fulfillment you get,
Infinitely greater.
infinitely greater than any kind of momentary pleasure. And Greene is emphatic. What will see you through is not passion, but the sense of deep connection to what you're meant to accomplish, to a sense of destiny in life, consistency, connection, not just fleeting excitement.
Okay, this feels like the deepest layer now. The idea that true fulfillment might actually come less from focusing on our own passion and more from purposeful service to others.
This is a really critical shift, highlighted in the purposeful service over personal passion source. It argues that the modern obsession with passion can sometimes slide into dangerous individualism, even egoism.
Where it's all about me, my satisfaction, my gain.
Exactly, and the needs of others get sidelined. The source warns this self-focus can become a subtle form of idolatry where the self becomes the ultimate object of devotion. Chasing only what feels good to us can leave us spiritually empty, isolated.
That's a heavy critique. Does ancient wisdom back this up? Is this idea found in older traditions too?
Oh, absolutely. Across centuries and cultures. Take Al-Ghazali, the 11th century Islamic thinker. He warned that unrestrained passion breeds arrogance, entitlement, and injustice.
Wow.
He taught that true piety, true flourishing, wasn't fulfilling every desire, but restraining desires and directing one's talents toward helping others. Feed the self too much, you become impoverished spiritually.
What about in the Jewish tradition?
Similar ideas. Rabbi Moses ben Jacob Cordovero, a medieval mystic, stressed cheese loving kindness as the highest spiritual life. This required disciplined effort to give selflessly, even when passion urges self-centeredness, generosity over desire.
And Imam Ali.
His sayings describe passion, hawa, as an inner enemy that clouds judgment and leads to oppression. The wise person isn't ruled by impulse, but disciplines the soul, masters their instincts, and uses their energy to elevate others. Self-mastery for service.
So consistently, it's about mastering the self in order to serve something bigger.
Precisely. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel in the 20th century put it beautifully. Self-respect is the fruit of discipline. The sense of dignity grows with the ability to say no to oneself. Greatness comes from saying no to desire in order to say yes to justice and mercy.
And Sheikh Al-Uthaymin linked divine favor directly to helping others.
Yes. Whoever fulfills the needs of people, Allah will fulfill his needs. A direct link between serving others and receiving blessings. These traditions consistently point away from pure self-interest towards selfless contribution.
It's powerful how consistent that message is. Are there historical figures who really lived this?
Definitely. Think of Moses, born into luxury in Pharaoh's palace. He could have had an easy life.
But he didn't.
No, he chose instead to identify with the suffering of his people, led them out of slavery, put up with their complaints, wandered for decades. Immense hardship. His sense of purpose, his spiritual joy came from that sacrifice and service, not indulgence.
And Prophet Muhammad, the mercy to the worlds.
His life was the epitome of living for others. Mending his own clothes, giving away wealth he barely had, visiting the sick, consoling the grieving, defending the vulnerable.
He found happiness in service.
Accounts say his face would light up when he could help someone. Despite huge burdens, his joy came from relieving others' burdens. It shows that deep fulfillment can come from dedication to a cause greater than oneself, even with sacrifice.
It's compelling to see that timeless wisdom. But is it just philosophy and religion? Does modern science, like psychology, have anything to say about this?
It absolutely does. Modern positive psychology provides strong scientific backing. Martin Seligman. He identified meaning and engagement often found through service as more critical to long-term well-being than just pleasure.
Pleasure fades, meaning endures.
Pretty much. And Sanjay Lubomirsky's research consistently shows practicing kindness, whether big volunteering gigs or small daily acts, boosts happiness not just momentarily, but cumulatively.
So helping others literally makes us happier, more connected.
Yes. Serving others activates a sense of connectedness and purpose that personal passion alone cannot sustain. It taps into a fundamental human need for contribution and belonging.
So it really is a universal truth then, across time, culture, science.
It seems so. The conclusion from all these different angles is pretty clear. We are social beings wired for empathy. True, lasting fulfillment comes from aligning ourselves with something greater than the self, whether that be community, justice, compassion, or shared humanity.
And the warning is stark. Passion alone, unchecked.
Becomes an idol of the self. Isolating. But when subordinated to ethics and compassion, when used for good, our talents can become instruments of healing, of real contribution, channeling our gifts outward, not just inward.
Wow. We have covered so much ground today, really moving way beyond just follow your passion. We looked at how it can be a great starting point, but also how it can crash against the realities of work, even lead to suffering if we misunderstand it.
And we redefined it, right? Thinking about its original meaning, to suffer, and contrasting it with deeper ideas like an inspired mission or Greene's life's task, that unique calling that often starts whispering to us in childhood.
We explored how to find that calling, even if the voice got drowned out those childhood impulses. Shetty's 4 paths: pain, potential problem, platform, plus that practical skill versus passion exercise, and job crafting, finding purpose even where you are.
And we have to get practical, too, acknowledging financial needs, how non-passion jobs can build resilience, and Sinek's idea of seamlessly integrating work and life, ditching the whole balance battle.
But ultimately, the deepest source of fulfillment seems to point towards purpose-driven service, shifting from what's in it for me to how can I contribute. It's not just what you do, but how you think about it and who you are being while you do it. Who benefits?
As that one source put it so perfectly, we become most alive not when we pursue what we want, but when we give what we can.
So the final thought, the challenge for you listening, as you think about your own career, your own path, pause and really ask yourself, what does giving what you can truly look like in your life with your unique skills and circumstances?
And how might shifting your focus towards that kind of contribution, towards service, unlock a deeper, more lasting, maybe infinitely more fulfilling kind of joy and purpose than just chasing passion alone? Something to really mull over.